You've got all these people around you, but you've got no idea who's ready to buy from you right now. Some people are just looking. Some people don't even have the pain point that you solve. Some people are generally interested. Other people are like, let's go. But how do you know who's actually ready? Because unfortunately, they're not walking around going, sticky label on their forehead, I'm ready to buy from you. So you've got all these people on your social media. You've got all these people in your CRM. You've got all these people in your networks. But who is who? And that's what we've got to be able to sort out. And the only way to be able to sort that out is by continuing to ask. And it's why we talk about you need to be able to attract, then you need to be able to nurture, educate, which warms people up. And then you need to be able to get the right sort of people who are ready, raising their hand, saying, yes, I'm ready. Can we please have a conversation to see whether you can actually help me or not? It's part of a complete marketing system. So I was speaking with one of our clients just the other day. And every single month, our clients, they fill in a quick little 3-minute performance review from the month before. And the reason we get them to do that is quite often when you're stuck in the weeds, it's really hard to be able to see what is the solution. Where I can see their form and I go, yeah, we need to be able to do that. So for this particular client, they were doing great at being able to attract. They had lots of people coming in. They had great CRM numbers. They had great social media numbers. But their problem was they didn't have lots of great conversations. They had what we'd call wasteful conversations, like just general chit chat. And that's nice, but you don't want general chit chat. You want to see and be able to talk to people who actually want your help. So this is the solution for this particular client. It's why having a marketing consultant, marketing strategist, marketing accountability, marketing coach, whatever you want to call them, on your team is so important, because they get above your business, look down, and there's no emotion attached. You have so much emotion. It's your baby. You live and breathe it every single day. And sometimes you just need someone to come along and say, you know what? You need to do this. Let's get to work. So this is what we need to do in this particular situation. So if you have lots of people who are around you, but not many people becoming clients, we need to do this. Let's come to the whiteboard. So over here, they have a great way to be able to attract. Remember, attract brings people into their audience. Their audience is in their CRM and on their social platforms. Now, within that audience, as we said, there are different types of people. There are grey people. They don't have the pain point at this point in time. There are red people. I've got the pain point. It's not a priority for me. There are yellow people. I've got the pain point. It's a priority, but I've got a roadblock or two to sort out first. And then you've got green people. It's a priority. I've got the pain point. Are you the right solution for me? The only problem is we don't know. So if you're constantly talking to grey and red people, it feels hard. It feels forced. And it's just draining. Whereas if you're talking to green people, all of a sudden now you've got energy because you actually get to help somebody. And that's why you went into business to start with, to be able to help people. So how do we work out in our audience who's grey, who's red, who's yellow, who's green? Well, in the next piece, when we look to be able to educate and nurture, this is where we can ask. We've got this great thin, would you like a copy? So here we have a great resource. How to be able to X, Y, Z in 5 simple steps. Now, grey people won't want a copy. Red people, probably is not on their radar at the moment. Yellow people are probably curious and do want a copy, even if they can't do anything at this point in time. And green people go, yeah, that's actually going to be really helpful for me. So what we need to be able to do is just simply in our conversations, ask, hey, I've just finished creating this XYZ. Let me know if you'd like a copy. Now, a whole bunch of people are going to say, no, I'm okay. And that happens to be the grey people, the red people, and maybe even some yellow people. But over on this side here, what's going to happen? The green people are going to say, yeah, I'd love that, please. And that's how you start being able to have conversations with the right sorts of people. So the resource just needs to be a real simple to consume resource, nothing difficult. So really, I'd have it as a PDF. I'd have it as a guide. The title of the resource is the key. So it needs a sexy title that talks to the pain point that you solve. So if I was a bookkeeper, 5 ways to get a greater refund on your next tax return. 3 ways to increase your cash flow so you never run out of money at the end of the month. Think about the pain point of your ideal person and create a resource that's actually going to help. That's the key. It's actually going to help solve that pain point. Because then the person goes, yes, I've got the pain point. I think you might be able to help me. And if the resource is really good, now they can go on to use your service. If the resource is only half-hearted, a bit crappy, well, you haven't nurtured and you haven't educated, and most importantly, you haven't demonstrated that you could actually make their life better. So look at what we've got here. We have got this great audience. And even if right now you only have, 50 people in your audience, you still have 50 people. Some are grey, some are red, some are yellow, some are green. So you then need to make sure you have a resource that gets those green people saying yes, because from that, what do you get to do? Well, now you get to be in conversations with people that you have the ability to help. And that's the key. So if we were to play this out, and for our particular clients, we have the following. We have a CRM that they're using. We have a leverage connection software which plugs into their LinkedIn. So therefore, they can speak to all of their connections on LinkedIn on autopilot. They have networks. They have referral partners. So there are a lot of people and a lot of places where they can simply be asking the question. So take this over and we simply ask the question. And it goes, I've just finished creating this great XYZ. I've just finished creating this great guide to be able to help business owners improve their cash flow in the next 30 days. Let me know if you'd like a copy. There's no emotion attached. Yes, I would. No, I wouldn't. Both answers are perfectly fine. But you need to be able to ask the question to be able to then identify who are the green people, the people who might be interested, who are raising their hand, that then are worth you being able to have a conversation with to be able to see whether you can actually help them or not. That's a really simple little strategy. And it works like a treat. Because you're not trying to sell anything. You don't need to sell anything. You don't know who you're trying to sell to. And all you need to do is just simply ask a question. The people who raise their hand, great, you've now got a bunch of people that you can follow up with. It's the missing link for the majority of people who have good networks. They're simply just trying to sell to everybody in the network when not everyone in the network is even ready to be able to buy. And in fact, we go right now, there are like 2% of green people at any given time. Then there's probably about another 12% of yellow people who are open to buying, but right now the timing is not great. Then you've got 40% of people who have the pain point that you solve. It's just not a priority for them. So that leaves us with then another, what are we at? Like 50, 56 odd percent of people who are in your network that just don't have the priority right now. They don't have the pain point. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't in 2 months' time, 6 months' time, 12 months' time. And in fact, we've had people who have been in our world for 7 years before it became a priority for them to do something about it, before that pain point was so bad that they went, oh, I've had enough. And so therefore, you've got to just realize that that's the game you're playing. You need to bring people in. You need to nurture and educate, demonstrate week in, week out. But you also need a simple system to be able to go, who are my green people right now? And the nice thing is that so much of that can happen with workflows, automations, technology, rather than you manually having to do it. Because as we always say, if it relies on you to do something manually, eventually it will break. And that's why part of your marketing team, we want to make sure that you actually aren't involved, that we've got the right software, that we've got the right technology, that we've got the right tech tools, that we've got the right workflows, automation, support, so that it happens when you want to go do something else, when you aren't well, when you would prefer to have much more fun working with clients than to actually worry about this. Hopefully it's been helpful. Reach out if there's anything we can ever do to be able to help. Drop me a comment below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Until next time, team, have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll talk to you real soon. Take care, everyone.